So here we go. Coming at you live and direct. I'm going to be talking about leadership. And I'm going to talk about leadership in a few different ways. So before you even think about being a leader, you first have to ask yourself, how are you leading yourself, right? Part of being a great leader, I feel like, is being disciplined in everything that you do. Leading from the front, right? How are you handling yourself when no one else is around? Because some people tend to act very leader-ish around other people, right? But as soon as they get alone, they act differently. They may not have all those habits that they show up front, right? So how are you leading yourself when no one's looking? Another key point to leadership is kicking your own butt, right? You have to kick your own butt every day. You can't look for anybody to correct you because you have to correct yourself before anybody else corrects you, right? Unless you're being mentored or coached or something like that, then your mentor or coach tends to kick your butt almost every time. But essentially, it's on you to catch yourself, to understand like, hey, these are the standards that I set for myself. So I'm not gonna go against my own standards. This is some of the ways that I carry myself, and I expect to carry myself like that even when people aren't looking, because these are the habits that I have for myself. By the way, do you like my suit? Pretty nice, right? Nice blazer, something classic, trying something different. But anyways, oh gosh. Another key point for being a great leader is leading with passion, right? When you speak, are you captivating people with your words, with your actions? You have to lead with passion, right? People have to just naturally gravitate to you because they see something in you that you see in yourself. Even when you don't see it in yourself at times, it still reflects. And people just are naturally attracted to that, right? But most importantly, you're naturally attracted to that yourself because you see the results behind the disciplines that you have for yourself. And when you speak with so much passion that some people may even get it confused with like anger or something else. But when you're passionate about who you are and about where you're going and about what you're doing, people are gonna naturally just wonder, like, what is he doing? How is he so confident? How is he able to do this, that, and the third, right? How is he able to do all these great things, right? Another thing about being a great leader is having a strong mentality, right? Being a leader is great, but you're on the forefront, which means that you have to have a strong mentality, because leaders are usually looked at as strong, not so much physically, but just up here mentally, right? Because they're always thinking ahead. That's what makes them leaders. They're always thinking ahead. So sometimes people are going to look for them for guidance or look for them for a type of wisdom. So you have to be mentally tough when it comes to being a leader, right? You have to always prime yourself for greatness, right? That means you always have to that means you always have to be filling yourself up. That means you have to be reading. That means you have to be listening to audios. That means you have to really practice what you preach. Because nobody is going to believe you if you don't believe you. Nobody's going to believe anything you're saying if mentally you're weak in everything, right? Mentally you're weak in your thought process or the things that you say, right? And my last point, true leaders lead because of responsibility, not rewards. Now, there are some leaders out there that lead just so they can get rewarded in the end. But some people are truly just natural leaders. They just genuinely want to help people to become their greatest versions, right? That's really what it's all about. Some leaders are just genuine. They're just genuine people. They don't really carry the title leader. It doesn't really matter to them. They're just genuine people and they want to help in any way that they can, right? In a sense, being a great leader is being a great cheerleader because you want to see people succeed just as much as you're succeeding. So you have to be that example, right? You have to be that example. You have to be able to set the tone in any situation. You have to be able to almost dictate the energy in the room as soon as you walk in, right? It's almost like you demand it, but you don't because you're a humble guy. But it's just something about you, right? That leadership quality, it just oozes out of you. And even though you may not really understand it, you're doing something awesome. A leader is also not afraid to show his flaws. A leader is not afraid to mess up in front of others because he knows or she knows they're not perfect, right? They're not going to get everything right all the time and they're going to make mistakes. But that's part of being that example, right? You want to show people the good, the bad, sometimes the ugly, because you're still human. You're just like them. You know, you don't want to create a divide that people think that you're on a level so high that it's almost impossible to reach. No. Being a leader is also being vulnerable too, being exposed and just showing your weakness sometimes because you're not perfect, you know. And I would think nobody expects you to be. So that's just another thing, and putting yourself out there too, because a lot of people don't have that courage to be as boisterous as certain leaders. And sometimes people see that and they get inspired by that, and then they want to do something too. You know, sometimes people look at, well, who's going to do it first? You know, people have the same ideas as you, but some people are just more afraid to act on those ideas. So, you know, be willing to make mistakes, be willing to correct yourself, because me personally, I don't get things right. You know, I make mistakes. Even with doing these right here, I get nervous sometimes, and sometimes I stumble on my words. But you know what? I keep pushing through because, for one, I am a leader of myself first before I'm a leader of anybody. And that's what's most important. Being able to be that example that you can be a leader too. You can be a leader of yourself. You don't have to lead other people. But if you can lead yourself, you're going to naturally create like a gravitational pull. It's just natural, you know, it just happens. But yeah, that's it. Now that's it. I just wanted to share that last little bit with you. Again, thank you for listening. I hope this added some value. Always remember, be unique, be visionary, and remember that anything's possible.